Welcome. My name is Megan Ford. I am your tournament director. I come to you live in Midlothian, Virginia. The Dorsey family and Diamond Billiards presents the American Straight Pool Championship. Our patron sponsors is Ivan Lee, Simonis Cloth, and Araminth Balls. Our official cue sponsor is Lacassi. We have a great matchup here in our semifinals. The winner of this will move on to the finals to face Mr. Torsten Homan. Our first competitor is originally from Finland, now resides in New York. His sponsors include Amsterdam Billiards, Moose Billiard Shoes, Kamui, Mez Cues, Tom Tips, and Volturi Cases. Give it up for Mr. Mika Immonen. His opponent is our reigning defending champion from England, now in PA, with his beautiful wife Angie. He is sponsored by Predator, Checkio, Scratch and Claw, and Diamond Billiards. Give it up for Mr. Darren, Appleton. Fellas, you may lag for break.
Race to one.
Race to 150.
Hey, welcome back. We're coming to you from the American 14.1 here for the lag with Mika Immonen and Darren Appleton. Should be an awesome match we have for you. Mika, Hall of Famer. And one of the great straight pool players of his generation, and Darren, a future Hall of Famer, our defending champion last year. He's also won the World 14.1. So this really should be great. We're going to 150, and I'm Darren Frank. I'm here with my father, Michael Frank. Say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone. It's been just an unbelievable tournament. The quality of the field is simply, in my many years of watching straight pool, I've never seen a field that had this kind of depth. Each of the finalists, Torsten Homan awaits the winner of this match to play for the American 14.1 championship, and each of these individuals has won the 14-1 championship under the name the Maryland Championship, with the exception of Darren Appleton, who won it last year when it was renamed in its first year here in Midlothian, Virginia, thanks to the sponsorship of the Dorsey family.
Right over here at Diamond Billiards. Great venue. Great venue. So there, Darren had the break. Mika won the lag. So Darren had the break for try to leave a safety here. Two balls have to hit the rail, which he did. And then goal not to leave Mika a shot, but he's left the 14 ball. So see if Mika can pocket that and start his run here. Ooh. Just a little bit off on that shot, and not a very good roll. So left Darren a pretty easy shot here on the 7.
Left a wide open rack, for sure.
Which is unfortunate, so we'll see what Darren starts off this match with.
So all the finals, all the semifinals, and the final will be played on this same table, which is a diamond table, and not a particularly easy table. I think there was one high run of 100, which was Torsten Homan's.
That's right. That's right. I think that was the highest run on this table. He just finished out the last semifinal match with a run of about 85 or so, which if you were watching, you saw that was a nice run. To get past Warren Kiamko to get into the final.
Yes, that match was 150, Homan to 65. Kiamko, nobody here has had a really easy run at it. Kiamko had to beat Johnny Archer and Jason Shaw, who's formerly from England and great player, to reach the match with Homan, where he was defeated. Homan had to beat John Clark from PA, one of the great American straight pool players still at the game. And then Danny Baruti, of course, the New York stalwart, who for many years probably ran one of the large straight pool leagues in the United States.
And was inducted into the Straight Pool Hall of Fame last year.
Inducted in the Straight Pool Hall of Fame, and now currently resides in
San Francisco.
And he had just a great tournament here. So we're very happy for Danny and his finish. And Danny, of course, commentated the last match. And then Appleton reaches the semifinal by defeating I think the last. No, I guess John Smith was the last American, but prior to that, it was Bobby Hunter, who in 1991 was the last American to win the 14.1 World Tournament. And Bobby came down from Chicago and played a great match, great set of matches to fall to Appleton. And we know that Bobby's probably on his way back to Chicago. With his wife Debbie and their new little son Noah, and Bobby, of course, is the maker of one of the finest, if not the finest, custom cue in the country. So he's up in Chicago, busy with that business. And Appleton also defeated the great Philippine player Dennis Orcalo to reach the match against Immonen. Immonen defeated another great British player, Daniel Peach.
Daryl
Peach, I'm sorry. And then Ivo Arts from the Netherlands to reach the semifinal with Appleton.
Right. So it's been a really awesome tournament so far. And, anybody from here on out could win it, and whoever wins this, we're going to be looking at a great finals matchup with Torsten Homan. So Darren here just taking a look at the angle. Just wants to get rid of that 6 ball, I think. But shooting off the pocket like that, and just wants to make sure he cinches this in the side and gets down there for the 6, clears that out. Probably going to leave the 2 ball from here, I would imagine, unless something goes terribly wrong, which probably it shouldn't.
No.
This is not exactly fraught with peril. He's done a nice job from here on out after Mika's miss. And Darren shooting with a Predator cue. It's one of his patron sponsors there.
Yes.
So will he shoot the... Take the ball on the side here, and the 4 ball and just draw back a little and stay pretty parallel to the 2. So we haven't seen the ball spread as much. If you watched yesterday, we commentated Mika's last match in the quarterfinal, and he had to kind of change his style of play about halfway through to sort of account for the table. The balls weren't really separating quite as well as you would want them to when you were going in with power. And what they've been doing is, if you see here, I think normally, maybe if we were playing on a Brunswick, he would leave that ball more parallel to the 4 ball. But he's giving himself, just a little bit of angle here, a little bit less angle. Pockets are cut a little bit differently, and he's not going to go into them quite as hard just because they haven't been separating. So you can either kind of clip them off a little bit, play a little more classic style, like Mika did yesterday, or if you watched this past match, you noticed Torsten kind of took the opposite approach when he hit his last break ball about 700 miles an hour and just slammed it right to the rack to get the separation. So a little bit of a style difference there. Just going to hit this ball with a little low right here. Just come to the rack, bounce back up the table.
Another of the deadly accurate shooters in the tournament. Darren is extremely accurate with his shot making, and of course he comes out of an English snooker background, so pocketing is critical.
Yeah,
so
potting. He calls it potting.
Potting.
Right,
There you go. We call it pocketing. They call
right.
it potting.
The snooker influence.
Yeah.
But you can see it in the stance, actually, and sort of the way they stand is different. When they get the straight back leg and the sort of closer stance a little bit more chest forward toward the ball a little bit more, than a pool player would be, as opposed to like as opposed to like sort of being to the side of the stick and then bending over the ball. It's just a little bit of a difference. You can kind of tell just by that, the way they stand, sort of what their background is.
So here he has a shot. It's hard for me to tell if he's playing a combination or he's going right.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to shoot the 4
Look
into
at
the
that
1.
shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Yeah, it's really tough from that distance.
That was a great shot. Combination
Yeah, I mean,
off another ball.
there you
Pocket
see-
the 1 and continue to run.
There you see the accuracy. So like we said, I mean, he didn't really get great separation there. He's got that little 6-ball cluster in the middle. And he's going to have to figure out a good way to get into those and kind of get them separated. So from here, are you thinking about sort of which ball you want to hit, like hitting the 9 as opposed to hitting the 5, to break them out?
Well, he actually decided to sort of hit him there, which a little surprised at, but
Yeah, and he kind of created a little problem for himself down there with
well, he
the
has this
3-14-7.
He has the
And then he's looking to see if the 3-ball goes from where he is right now, but
yeah. I really have a feeling he's going to take the side pocket shot and drag the cue ball down to the
I think it's what he's looking at,
the
shooting the
table,
6, and then
right.
that's where he wants to.
Then the 3, because he has he has a task now of having to open up 2 clusters. The cluster in the center of rack with about 6 balls, as you mentioned, Darren. And then he has the 3-ball cluster with the lead ball, the 3-ball. So he really won't put off opening those up, because if he puts them off, he may not have shots to get to them to open them.
So he just
So he
went right
makes a
into
shot
him.
and went right into
Oh.
him. And got a little bit of an unlucky roll in the sense that the ball, he hit it so good, the ball was pocketed, and now he's in fact safe.
Right.
And he's in fact so safe that he can't play the 12 ball. I don't believe he can even see the 12 ball.
Is
It
it
may
the 10?
be frozen on the
10, you mean, I
the
think?
10, yeah.
Yeah.
The ball's out, yeah.
It's hard to see, that angle off the 7. It looks like he may be able to hit it.
It's still an incredibly
But
difficult shot.
super hard.
Yeah.
Shots be jacked up off the. Even if the 14 ball weren't there, it would be a very hard shot.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And that just adds an element of complexity. Whenever you raise the back end of your cue like that, and you hit down on the ball, and you impart force into the ball in that direction, it makes making the shot a whole lot harder. So we'll see what he chooses to do here. And he could skin it and go up table and try and play safe, although it's a little risky. He could leave a shot pretty easily if he goes too far. He could leave the 11. Sort of difficult to know what he's going to do here. Think he'll play safe, or you think he'll shoot at it?
I would think he's going to shoot, because he doesn't seem to me to have a good safe.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's a difficult shot, he's no stranger to difficult shots. So
Difficult being relative, right?
yeah, difficult being relative. I mean,
Sure.
he's the nice thing about this is you can see the angle pretty clearly. So he's, I think he may take a shot at it.
It looks like he's kind of setting himself up to do that, and we can see from this angle. Watch him as he cues over the ball here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 45 degrees. I
may-
mean, that's really, he's high up,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think he's going to probably hit it pretty good,
yeah, I mean, that's so
Ooh,
hard.
wobbled?
That was a really
So
hard
there
shot.
There are really 3 people watching that shot very intently. One of them is, of course, Darren. The other is his lovely wife, Angie, who's in Pennsylvania sweating the match out probably. And the final one would be Mika, who's saying, please,
miss.
let me get up. Let me get
Right,
up.
He definitely wants another swing
Right,
at
he
it.
wants another swing at it.
I mean, especially at this stage of the game in this tournament. I mean, any shot you miss could be the last shot you get. Any of these guys are capable of going 150 and out. I think Mika's high runs in the high 200s. Is that right? Maybe even broken 300.
Yeah, he's-
Similar to Darren. Darren actually has the record too for going 200 and out from the break.
Yes, he does have a straight pool run
He has the record for that.
In the World
and
Straight
then-
Pool Tournament, he ran 200 and out.
Right, breaking Mike Siegel's record, who went 150 and out. I mean, given the game was to 200 instead of to
Right.
150, and could have
Exactly.
Siegel gotten two? Of course he could have, but that's the tournament record. And then Torsten too, high run of 404. So he's one of the few players to break 400 in the last few decades, I'm sure. So Mika here just looking. I think he's trying to figure out how to get to that 7 and 14. I'm sure. He wants to get rid of the problem as soon as he can. And I imagine he'll try and leave the 12 ball. 5's in the rack. 8's a little high. So unless he wants to bump something,
in the rack, or
I think the 5's in the rack.
So you may have to leave the 13 or the. Is that
Oh, did
the
I say
10 or
that?
the 10 or the 12? So he's shooting
He's
13.
at the 12,
so he's
right?
not
Yeah, he's
using
going to
that.
leave the 13, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here he comes back. And the first shot he shot, where he sort of took a swing at the ball, generally players at this level will just try to get loose because
Mhm.
they don't want to be tight when they're trying to go through a rack. So they're probably going to shoot. If the choice is between shooting and safety, they're going to probably shoot, especially if they're feeling loose.
Right.
So
And I mean, Mika has such confidence
yeah,
in his
Mika's-
stroke as
yeah,
a
well,
player.
I mean, arguably, we're playing with 3 people who have won this tournament before, so we're going to have a repeat winner.
Hmm.
And we're playing with 3 individuals who have won the world straight pull title.
Right.
So you really have here, arguably, the top, you'd have to say
like
in the
top
top 5
3.
players in the world, you got 3 right here
Right.
at this moment shooting for this title.
Right. If they're not 1, 2, and 3 themselves.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not, that's a good way to put it. If they're not 1, 2, and 3 themselves, they're certainly the greatest players, which is what I was mentioning in talking about the depth of this field. I mean, you had
Yeah, because
15 players who could run 150 and out from any particular time they got to the table.
Absolutely. And it happened a few times. I mean, Neil's won 100 and out. Niels Fine was here. Very happy to have him here for the tournament. One of the great straight pool players also, this
Right.
time. So, and Nick Vandenberg, I think, went 98 and out earlier in the tournament. So he had such high quality play.
And such an international field. Darren is from England. Mika was born in England but raised in Finland and considers himself Finnish. And, of course, Thorsten is from Fulda, Germany, and lives in Jacksonville, Florida, or at least when he's not traveling, I guess, in Jacksonville.
That was a great shot. I mean, he held the cue ball there
Right.
really nicely for the 15 on the side. I mean, the trouble is if he gets really out of line on this, and he doesn't like it, but of course he's a perfectionist, so he's not going to like anything. But unless it's 100% perfect, so he could follow forward and come back. And I don't know what kind of angle he's left himself here. He's got a little bit of an angle to go into it, yeah.
So the question will become on this table whether they will try and hit the balls with a great deal of force and break it open as wide as they can on the first attempt at a break shot, or whether they will hit them a little softer and have to go into the rack a few times in order to get all the clusters loose, which is more the way classic straight pool's played than the power game that you often see today.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll watch how Mika does this, and
Right, and there he just didn't have a ton of angles. He was just trying to
not
get
a ton
in
of
with
angle.
some force.
And again, it shows you that the table is not particularly fast because you would expect a better spread as hard as he hit the balls.
And it looked like he hit in between the 2 top balls there too, instead of sort of hitting one dead on.
Yeah,
I think he was.
he didn't get an angle.
I think he was hoping to hit one
Went
dead on
straight
and
on,
bounce
yeah.
off.
Exactly. Yeah, he went straight into the pack.
Because going in between balls is a good way to get stuck, like this. So he's going to look for a dead ball, see if maybe that 10 ball goes off the forward.
So he has a pretty nice safe here. He can simply bank the 12.
The 15.
Is that 15?
Bank
Bank
the
the 15
15
back
behind the
into the
rack.
rack and put the cue ball up table. He'll want to be on the opposite side of the one, toward the pocket, the corner pocket on the side of the table that he's now shooting from. So I think he's trying to. What he's concerned about if he plays that shot the way he wants to is the scratch in the side pocket. So he has to get out of that. But I really don't think he has much of an alternative but to do that. He can just bank this ball to the rail and put the cue ball in the top of the pack and leave it frozen. But then that gives his opponent the opportunity to go push off a ball and go down table and leave the cue ball for Mika to have to come back and try and play a safe off of a rack that's far away.
Right.
So,
Which obviously makes it a lot harder to sort of
Yeah.
precisely clip a ball.
so
You know?
he seems annoyed at this, but this level, it's a very intense game. There's a lot at stake here. There's a title and
Yeah, and like you said, I mean,
quite a bit of money.
if he plays a bad safe, or if it doesn't hit it quite the way he wants, or takes a shot at it and misses, it could be his last shot. So
Yeah.
I think, that kind of bears in the decision making here.
So here he goes.
So it looks like he's going to take that
Yeah,
safe.
he's-
It looks like he's going to draw it. So he.
I think he's going to go straight down, and he did, and he uses the ball. See if that's the 8 or the 6. It's
Yeah.
out as a blocker. So actually, the 1 is
The
is
8 ball,
close
yeah. I
off
mean,
it.
I don't think he can see the 1. The 8's there kind of in
So
the way.
now, Darren is in a delicate position because the balls are out enough that if he makes a mistake, Mika will have a shot. If he hits the rack too full, Mika will have a shot in playing a safe. So we'll see what he's going to do, and he just runs the 1.
Ooh, I don't think he.
No,
Yeah,
was
he
playing
didn't mean
safe.
to do that. Yeah,
no.
he's playing safe. So the 1 ball will get spotted.
No, I'm not a great fan of that shot, to tell you the truth.
Well, now it looks like Mika has the 1 on the side right there.
Well, the thing I don't like about that shot is whatever Mika does, he can still go down table, and that's when you're playing safe. You want to be you want your opponent to be shooting up table, and
Right.
you to be shooting down table.
Right.
So now he obviously may not be able to do it because the 1 ball will pop out.
Yeah, I wonder if he can. I don't know if the 1 ball's deep enough, if he can shoot it. It doesn't look like it.
No, I think he's going to do that. He's looking at whether or not the
8 ball
ball
goes,
is,
right?
Is dead. Yes,
Right.
that's exactly what
He's
he's
gonna
looking at.
trying to get the 7 into the 9 to the 8 there and see if the 8 ball is sort of dead in our lower right-hand corner. And obviously he has to look at this a lot, because like we said, if he misses, he's going to scatter the rack, and then Darren's going to have a pretty easy shot.
Yes, he's not going to take too many more freewheels as he did on the first shot. I mean,
Right.
He's not going to give he's too great a competitor to give the game away.
No, absolutely. And like you were saying earlier, I mean, there's, they call it just letting your stroke out. If you've been sitting for a while and then it's difficult to get up and sort of make a shot like that, and you want to feel comfortable and loose when you feel tired from sitting. And some of the theory is, like, let your stroke out, just take a shot like that, sort of swing at it. And then you'll kind of immediately be loose, assuming you make it, obviously.
So Mika taking a good bit of time here, and
So we can
as
take a
much
minute
time
to,
as he's taking, I think he's going to play the ball.
Yeah, I think he is too. But while he's looking at it, here we go.
Play the 8. He just said it. And there it goes in the
What a
center
great
of the
shot.
pocket. Terrific shot.
What a great
Terrific shot. Yep.
And so now he's got a.
So now he's got
nice
a pretty
open
good
rack.
table for
Yeah,
himself.
I mean,
He's
this
the
looks
one's
great.
easy. The two corner balls are easy to. 2 balls into corner pockets are easy to pocket. So we'll see what he selects and the pattern he is going to use to get to his break shot.
And there
he
you go.
comes into the rack, and he had a
Breaks them
sort
up
of a
right
free
away.
pass at that because there was nothing he could get stuck with. So he's in pretty good shape here.
And I think he's probably just going to try and clear these balls out of the bottom rail here, get the 4 out. And get the 14, sort of get rid of them. So he goes into them.
He's not going to be thrilled with that. 'Cause
No.
he made himself a problem
Right,
he
he
didn't have
sorta-
2 seconds ago.
Right. But he can hit him now again if he
Yeah.
wants to. But he obviously doesn't want to roll something
Well, he
into the
doesn't
5
wanna get stuck
and then
either.
create it again, the 5.
He
yeah.
really doesn't want to get stuck.
And when you're shooting down into the rail like that, it's pretty easy to get stuck, actually.
So we'll see what he does here. And there he goes. Pushes 1 out.
Yeah, I think.
Leaves 2 open. And
And the key there was he was really confident he was only going to hit the 15 ball.
Yes.
Like if he was going in between the crack of the 15 and the 14, he wouldn't have been quite so confident with that shot because then you don't really know where you're going to end up. But if you hit 1 ball square, it's a lot more predictable.
So now we're reaching the stages where we begin to wonder what his key pattern will be, and that will be the break shot and the 2 or 3 balls before the break shot.
And he could leave the 10 or the 7. They're both out of the rack. The 11's a little close to be a break ball. They might be shooting the 15 here.
All right, so depending on what he plays here, we'll know.
Yeah, he might get rid of the 6, although, he's got to get into those somehow. So I think he'd like to, ideally he'd come a little bit lower and shoot the 2 in the lower right-hand corner and break these up.
Well, he is thinking even about shooting this 13, so.
Well, I think if he shoots this, then he can shoot the 6 and then be in a position on the 2 to break up the 11 and the 7.
He's going to play the 1 on the side.
Right.
No, he's going to study more.
And that's the thing about this game, too. I mean, you have so many options, and you really have a lot of preference comes into play. There's not really one right way to play every rack, just because you have all those choices.
Well, the reason he doesn't want to shoot the 6 is he's going to be over a ball. So
right.
He's going to take the 1, which is no good to him except as a key ball. So it has some importance, but not much. Here he can use a 6 and break up the 7 and 11, and I suspect that's exactly what he's going to do.
Right, and he can just, it's sort of natural to go right into those
If he
balls.
hits it nice and easy, the 7 ball will be an excellent break shot.
As long as the 11 doesn't roll down to the 5, see, that's great.
So he tried to be tried to finesse it. It was almost a great shot. But he's going to have to pick another break shot. It won't be the 7 ball.
Yeah, but that 6 ball was not exactly hanging.
No. But of course, the great players have the advantage of not having to worry about making the shot. It's a big advantage. He was really more concentrating on hitting the 7 and trying to leave it as a break shot.
Which interestingly seems to be, when they get out of line and then try and concentrate on that more than the shot and take the shot for granted, sometimes that's when you see the misses happen,
Yeah, that's very true. But he's focused. And
no, I think at this point, pretty hard to rattle, Back-to-back U.S. Open 9-ball championships, several world championships. At this point, any of these guys are not really going to get rattled to the point where the pressure is really going to get to them, I don't think.
Well, in looking at the resumes and the list of titles, each one of them has about 25 major titles.
Right.
And you can't get there if you're going to fall apart under pressure.
Yeah, I don't think they let people in the Hall of Fame who rattle.
Yeah.
That might keep you out.
It doesn't say that nerves don't affect them from time to time, but they're just able to cope with the pressure in a way that's much different from most of us.
Right.
And they have such extraordinary physical capabilities that it overcomes a lot of it. They're so confident in the shooting.
And there we go. So he just comes right back up off the rail, gives himself a nice angle here. So you notice he left himself a lot more angle on this ball than he left on the previous break shot, because obviously he didn't get the separation he wanted last time. So he adjusted, left himself more angle this time, more velocity going into the rack off the object.
And he also left himself where he can take a full swing at it, because he's gone below the side pocket, and anytime they go below the side pocket, it's so that they don't have to stretch to make the shot. So he's now in a position where he can just really put some power into this ball. So he's feeling good, I would say, at this point.
Absolutely.
I would say he's feeling good. He's seeing the ball well, and he's going to nail this. There you go.
See, and
really
he's playing more like he
hard.
played yesterday,
he
where
is.
he kind of hit those pretty easy, and you can see that the spread there. He got a nice little roll from the 8 ball. If he wants to use that to get into better position on a down table ball, if he doesn't like where he is. So he's just taking a look from here and to see what goes and kind of how he can attack this rack. So he's going to go ahead and pick off that 8 ball and get himself in some better position. So he just came back center table. But anything he chooses, now he's closer. So do you think he'll go into them off the 6 here? Is he going to try for that?
It's hard to tell. He may stop the. Yeah, he actually is using the 6.
I think he can go right into that 12 ball there. And if he does that, he should get pretty good separation.
Right.
Because the 12 will then hit the 2 and the 11 kind of in the middle and send them opposite ways. He might wind up with a little cluster down at the bottom.
Ooh, a little bit of
Whoa.
a nerve tester. He gets a little bit of a bad break there. Actually, a very considerable bad break.
Yeah.
So now instead of shooting a ball
Hanging the 11.
half
yeah.
an inch from the pocket,
Right.
he's going to shoot something that's pretty hard. He's shooting
Right.
the 8 ball, I think. Is it the 8 or the 4?
That's the 4.
Pocket's great. And comes down table 2. He's going to have to shoot the 14. That's actually not a very difficult shot for him, even though he threw his arms up the air. Frustration, it's not what he wanted to do, but
No,
he's
absolutely.
fine here.
I would have thrown mine in the air in happiness just to pocket that ball, but you know,
I think he's.
Mika's a quarter inch off, so he's upset. So then, just gonna
I'm sorry, we have
clear
a
out these.
We have a napkin update.
Take the score, you can see the.
Yeah, after the round. Just gonna clear out these balls at the bottom rail here, and so the 7's out, the 1 is out, but close. He may have tried to bump it a little bit there.
Tried to bump it too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the 2's okay, but he clipped the 1 a little bit on the left side.
He has the 3 as he has his 3 as an alternative.
A little far out. To leave himself a lot of angle. Probably just depends on how he wants to hit him. You know, if he kind of got sort of where he is now, he could go into one of the top 2 balls pretty easily and come back up the table. But probably just how he feels the balls are separating, how the table's breaking. It's just what he's thinking about now.
Well, I don't see much option here, but the 1.
Right. I mean, you
The
know.
1. Then he could play either of. Oh no, he's shooting a 3, so he must have another break shot plan.
He's gonna leave that 7 ball because if he.
Oh, I can see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I'm
comes
sorry. I thought
here.
that was in the rack actually.
Okay.
So yeah, he's in good shape.
Just
12
gonna.
with spin.
Right. Just leave himself a little bit of angle here, which he has done. Then he can just.
He also has the alternative. He also has an alternative in leaving the cue ball in the rack,
Oh, that's true too.
but he won't do that because
No, he's
he
gonna
can
draw
draw
back
it down.
Here, yeah. There we go, and very
There we
nice.
are.
Just left himself a little angle, just like we said.
So this brings our score to
37-19, I believe.
37 Mika Immonen and 19 Darren Appleton.
I gotta get in where they're at just for a few minutes. They're having problems with the streams. We want to make everybody happy.
All right.
That's my goal in life.
All right, so little booth shuffling
All
here.
right.
We're good. All right, and Mika right just exactly pops off that second ball to the side rail. Comes right back out. So he's got a pretty easy shot there on the 15 ball.
So Mika scratches in the
Scratches.
top corner off.
And I think he was
Which
trying
would
to
be
go into that
little
little.
bit of a fluky scratch.
He's trying to
Ooh.
go into that cluster, right? That little 5, 6, and 12 ball right behind the 7 there.
So, yes.
And just draw it and take the way he thought it would, and so he
So in
caromed off the 11 for an unlucky scratch there, and bring Darren to the table.
it is the cruelest of games in a very real way, because here Mika was starting to freewheel, get relaxed, really good stroke, get the balls nice and open, and then before you know it,
You scratch.
the fates catch up with you.
All right, and I mean, but
And
Darren's been sitting now. Mika's been at the table for
Right.
a little over half an hour. I mean, I think so.
It brings
We'll
Darren
kind of see what he does, and you know, it can be. This shot is more difficult if you've been sitting like that, watching your opponent run a lot of balls. But it shouldn't be a problem for my namesake here, Mr.
So here he
Appleton.
goes, Mr. Appleton's shooting the 4 ball straight in the pocket,
Dead in the pocket.
dead in the pocket. So he seems to be.
Get in there again. We'll see.
he needs to be. Does not seem to be weary from his little sit in the chair.
No, he's a little used to it too. At this level, gotta get used to
right.
it.
Right. As seasoned and as many finals as he's been in, none of them are routine, I'm sure, but he's going to go about his task in a very workmanlike fashion. So he pockets here.
And I think here he'd like to be able to shoot the 14. I don't know if he has the angle, because that would clear the pocket for that 5 and 6 ball there, and let him sort of get into the stack.
Yeah, that's a good choice, actually.
I don't know if he I don't know if he can shoot it. He might be the 5 ball might be in the way there.
But he has a 2
He
as
has
well.
2 right in the side pocket
But
there. We can
then
see
he
on the
has to-
stream.
It's hard to tell what he would do after the 2.
Yeah, so he's looking at the 14, see if it goes by. Looks like it does.
Yeah, he wants to
He
clear
wants
that
to
time.
shoot it if he can.
Yeah, he really can't.
Yeah, I think maybe the 2.
So he doesn't want to shoot the 2 and 11 because then he would roll off the 12 and he can get in trouble. So he's going to.
He's
see
going to try
what
and
he
come back down
does.
for the 14,
Yeah, he's
but
gonna
he
try for the 14.
came a little
I
far,
think
it looked like.
He's good though. No. Or no, I think he can. I think he can make the 14. It appears as he's hidden, but I think that's more of an illusion. I
Oh,
don't
absolutely.
think he has
yeah,
any trouble
he's-
hitting the 14.
Okay.
Then he'll probably come back out. Because in order to use a full stroke, he's going to have to come out. And there he goes. So
He might go down now for the 10 and the 9 ball, and then try and come back up sort of a little bit higher than where he
Yeah.
just was, so he can shoot that 5 ball.
it's interesting. Everybody has sort of different notions of how you play through a rack.
Right.
So he's now shooting the 10. I mean, he has to bunt the 9, which he did a great job of, and he's on his way. So we'll have to see how he gets the.
It'd be interesting to see if he
Well, he doesn't
plays
have
the 3 here,
yeah.
actually, because if he shoots that up table,
I don't
Um,
explain the 3. I think he's going to play the 9 and come out. Because the 3, in many ways, is a safety ball. Because if he gets to that side of the table, then he can shoot the 5
mm,
and not have any problems opening up the rack and maybe getting a break shot out of it.
right. So he played position for the 3 now to then go ahead and shoot the 5.
So he's going to hit this, I think,
Mm.
with a pretty, just a pocket ball speed, as they say. And now he'll go into the 5 and try and create a break shot with either the 12 or the ball that's frozen to the 5. Is that the 6?
The 6, right. And I think he tried to bump the 6 into the 12 there, and it's actually sort of unclear. I think he got far enough.
Well, the question is the 6 out of the rack?
Well, the 7's on the spot, so I think the 6 is not out of the rack, but I think the 12 ball is. I think he probably wanted him to go another inch.
Because I don't think the 6 ball can go in the corner. So now
Right.
he's got to get behind it. But he's also now got to clear the 6 out in order to have either of those balls pocketable.
I would imagine he's kind of going to shoot the 11 here, because he's going to need to use the 7
To bunt,
to hit
yes.
the 6 and the 12. So it sort of limits his choices here.
So that's a good point. He'll come so that he has a very slight angle in the 7 ball in the side pocket, so that the cue ball will naturally tap the 6-12.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see he's probably, my guess is, not very happy with that shot.
Did throwing the bridge down give it away? You don't really usually have to guess. Mika they call the Iceman. Darren they call Dynamite. So I think that's why. You don't really have to guess at Darren's emotions. Mika's a little more stoic. I read a little more Seneca, a little more Marcus Aurelius.
Yes, a fierce competitor. So
Oh, absolutely. Both of them
shows
fierce
both are
competitors, but they
competitors, and
both-
off the table are pretty
Even,
outgoing.
nice guys,
very
yeah.
Darren's a really nice guy and easy to talk to, very approachable.
Absolutely.
But when he's on the table, you really don't want to mess around with him. I mean, I'd be pretty cautious
Of
about.
course. Great competitive
Yeah.
edge, as they say. So, just going to look at this. I think he's going to shoot the 7-up table. Yeah. I think it's obviously not an easy shot, but you know he makes that up table. He should go right into that 6 ball there.
I think he's going inside pocket, and he missed it, actually.
Ooh.
So his run comes to a conclusion on these very, very tough, this particular very, very tough diamond table.
But that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, you know, getting out of line. And then that's, you know, sort of causes you to take a much more difficult shot that you didn't want to take.
Yes.
And then, you know, missing it because he has to not only pocket that, but then get in a position to make a ball and then hit the
Yes.
6 and the 12. So it's not like you can just pocket it and sort of hope for the best, you know, in that situation, because that's why you try and get your problems out early, because he only had, the 12 went. So Mika just shot that. Obviously, he's got some, it'd be interesting to see what he does if he, so he just did that to see if the 6 was a good break ball, I think.
Well,
So
he isn't going to have much choice, I don't think. I mean, there really isn't much choice here.
Right, I mean, his
only 2 choices are to leave the 6 as a break ball or to shoot it and play safe, unless he's going to try something fancy, is
right, I mean, he could
throwing into the rack or something like that.
Right, if he shot the 6 and kind of came up 2 rails for the 7. And then
we're going to know in a minute, because I think he's going to. It seems to me the 6 is a pretty good break shot. Now I'm saying that with a big age advantage on most of the people here. But the straight pull that I learned is the 6 ball would be a break shot, and there would be no hesitation in using it.
Right. Behind the rack break shot's not very popular in today's game.
No, neither's off the rail, and we were commentating yesterday that obvious side pocket break shot that was passed up, and then.
Oh, it did make a scratch.
Wow. Not happy. Throwing the cue ball is never a good sign. So he's frustrated. This is the second time he seems to have gotten into a groove and easily pocketing the balls with great fluidity, and at this point has to stop his run with a scratch, giving Darren another opportunity, and Darren is really someone you don't want to give any opportunity to. So this is an interesting shot, because the 6 ball potentially is a break ball, and the question is, how do you leave the cue ball?
You got to draw it.
He's going to draw it
to the side rail
and try to hold it.
But a hard shot because he wants to come below the 6.
So ironically, with ball in hand rules in most games, short rack games, which predominantly is what's played even in tournaments, spot shots are by and large the only game you're going to find them in a straight pull, and depending on the rules, 8 ball, more often than not an 8 ball. So that was a very difficult shot, because not so much pocketing the spot shot, but drawing the cue ball to the rail while trying to pocket that shot is not necessarily a very easy.
No, it adds a lot of complexity to that shot.
Yeah, it adds a lot of complexity to have to do it that way. And the other thing is, quite frankly, there is really no need to practice spot shots, because the amount of times that they come up in a year, not very many.
Not very many.
So in days before strictly ball in hand, even in the short rack games where you could push out instead of get the ball if your opponent doesn't hit the object ball, spot shots were very, very critical to the game. My own view of that is the game lost quite a bit by giving up the spot shot.
Yeah, I think we should go back to non-ball in hand. Be interesting to see, now that everybody's so accustomed to it. So he's going to play safe here, you think, or he's going to try and hit him?
I think that is the $64,000 question.
You can cut it down.
Trying to hit him here, you've got to draw it. He can't even. I mean, he has to.
You can cut it down to our left and go 3 rails with inside.
I mean, I think they can all do that. Now, whether they're going to do it or not is something else. So he chooses to play safe right from there. Where he has a good safe. It keeps his opponent from being able to shoot down table. and
Right, and he can't
almost
shoot the
forces
7.
him to shoot the 7. It really does force him to shoot it.
He's got to
So he's
reach
over a
over
rack
like
and he
3
has to,
balls.
right.
Yeah, really hard.
Right. This is a
Yeah, so
long
here he is. We'll
stretch,
see what happens.
But you know, so
And we saw Darren, one of Darren's misses was
Darren.
jacked up over that other ball there.
right. But surely he's capable of making any shot on the pool table.
Oh, no,
He also has a
absolutely.
bank here.
And I think he just called that, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna
So
be shooting
my
the
guess
5.
is give him the choice between the
see
two
the
shots.
angle
He
there.
probably would take the bank. So Mika is gambling here that the difficulty of these two shots will come back to the table.
Mm-hmm.
He could be wrong, and we're going to find out in a very few seconds. Cross-side.
Dead in the hole.
Then the pocket.
Great
And
shot.
Now,
That was a tricky little off-angle bank,
Right.
but did
Now
a
we
very
have-
nice job there.
Darren on his way.
Now the issue being, I mean, you know, how's he going to come back into him here? I think he has to get up above the 7 where he just put the tip of his cue, shoot the 7 ball on the side, and come straight into the top of the rack.
I think he's going to go down table for the ball that's down there.
Yes, he's going to. So he got pretty much right there. So he's going to pocket the 7
Yeah,
to
he's
the
going to
side
pocket
here.
the 7 and try and pop the rack.
Right. See, but what he was looking at there is, you know, where he was going to hit. Because if he hits in between that 12 and was it the 13 there, then he could get stuck. So we'll see where he hits the rack.
Ooh,
And
look
see,
at this.
he was trying to
See, it's-
manipulate the angle so much.
Yes,
Because he was
that's-
afraid of
that's
getting
it.
stuck. You know that he missed the ball.
That's it. So what we're seeing here is that even at this level, when you have to compensate for position you wanted but did not get, you're in a hazardous position because you have to shoot either harder shots or shots where you can't control the cue ball in exactly the way you want to.
Exactly.
So the tables have been passed back and forth, and almost each time it's been as a result of a scratch.
So we're taking a short
here
break
with,
here. Mika's just running to the bathroom. You can see the back of our tournament director's head. There's Peter Burrows. And we can take a minute to thank our sponsors here of the tournament. Obviously the Dorsey family, great supporters of the game. Really happy they're having us here at Diamond Billiards. And Aramith Balls, Ivan Leaves Simonis. Just want to thank them a lot for all their support. You mute us.
I gotta get in there first.
Can you mute us while they're on break?
Yeah, you guys take a break.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, in my effort to make everyone happy here, I'm going to work with this stream for a few moments. Everyone stand by.
As our players are taking their break, I want to take this time to thank Inside Pool for the Billiard Channel on Roku TV and Mr. Alvin Nelson. Give them a big, huge round of applause.
Oh, that was nice. Thank you.
Our arena not only has 7 cameras, beautiful lighting, it comes to you in HD and is free.
Thank you. Wow, that was really nice. I didn't see that coming. That's funny. I just sat down when she did that. That's cute. I love Megan. She's awesome. The tournament director here at the American 14-1 Championships. I hope you're all having a fun time out there inside pool.tv, the billiard channel, getting kind of a view of the adventure here. My wild world. We're having some sponsors of this. The sponsor of the stream, main big sponsor, Muellers.com, been supporting Inside Pool and helped build the billiard channel from day one last year, and we're up to 780,000 viewers a month on the Roku box. Thanks a big part to also Ustream.tv, always putting us on the front page whenever we're streaming. They have a great service and excellent Excellent venue here at Diamond Billiards. Also, we have Simonis cloth, the official cloth, and the official cue sponsor would be Lucasi Cues. And I am Alvin with Inside Pool. It's an honor to be here. I'm going to work on some settings so that we can get another side channel set up so that our lower bandwidth viewers can also enjoy a smooth stream, as well as this 1280 by 720 HD. So give us a few minutes here and I will get things set up. Our commentators will be back here in just a few, Darren and Michael. And love you all. Glad we can be here for this event. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us too on the free stream. Okay, try that out. See if that worked. The Inside Pool 2 channel should be live. I'm going to go check it right now as soon as our commentators come back. We'll give that a go. You ready to go? All right, Darren. All right, folks. Hopefully that works. We'll see. Anyway, enjoy some great pool. I know I'm enjoying an amazing adventure. Thanks out there. Everybody watching on Ustream and on the Billiard Channel and on YouTube. Worldwide across the galaxy.
All right, we are back.
Fired up.
All right, we are back. So thanks for bearing with us while we sorted out the technical issues here and see what we have going on. Obviously a difficult situation. Not an easily makeable ball between the two.
So, Immonen is on 1 foul. And Appleton is at the table and plays.
Tries to play safe there.
Oh, very
but
interesting strategy. He makes the 9 a break shot and leaves Immonen a very difficult shot, but makeable. So this could easily backfire if Mika pockets this ball
gets by the 9.
and stays in the rack. He
Because
may be in the rack.
then he can take the ball back behind the line.
Yeah.
There he goes. So he manages to execute.
So that was a good idea that didn't play out exactly as planned. So now we have Immonen here with another break shot, which he will.
He's below the side pocket there, so he won't have to stretch or anything. Be a nice break shot for him.
Well, he's got to take the ball behind the head string.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot he rolled that down. So same comment. He can, could still reach it easily. He's only about half diamond from where he is.
So
So he's giving himself
kind of a narrow angle.
yeah, and I think he's just going to try and kind of
Well, he
clip
wants to
that
draw it.
5
I
ball
think
there.
he's
He's going
gonna
to go
draw
right
it.
into the side of it, you think? Yeah,
he
so he just
runs
wanted
off,
to come
good
down.
shot, comes down, and
Got a little bit of a bad roll there. I mean, not much broken
he's actually got
out.
a little bit of a good roll because I think this ball's a fairly easy shot for him.
Okay, so we have the score
No
table
choice.
move,
He's
so it's a
gonna
little
play the
easier to
full.
see here on the
Unless
stream.
the 5 is dead, he's going to be playing the is that the 15 ball or 11 ball? I can't say
It's
it.
the 11 ball.
So he'll be
11
playing
ball
the
right
11
there. So he's
ball,
gonna play the
13
combo here,
combo.
absolutely. And Mika had by 20 balls here, 50 to 30s, a third of the way. Darren's a fifth of the way.
And we are how many minutes into the match?
About an hour.
An hour.
Started about 2 o'clock. It's about an hour in.
So we're
57
we are,
minutes. So Mika, here's a tough combo. You got to cut it like that.
Not of.
But man,
not
I
of-
know I said this yesterday during his match, but he shoots combinations like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Um,
Not what we would call a quick match, right?
it's okay that we get to see more pool.
Well, you get to see the same amount. The question is over how long a period of time. That's the issue. You know, they're only going to go to 150. The question is when they get there.
So he's just going to float up here and imagine he's going to hit these pretty hard. Because what he doesn't want to do is sort of hit them soft and get stuck. Because he probably will go right
But
through
it's
this
a thin
rack.
cut,
There
so
you
he's got to
go.
hit it
He's-
hard. Beautiful
Absolutely.
shot, actually. Just a
Yeah, that was
beautiful
really,
shot,
came
yeah.
off as really nice.
So he is
Wow.
pocketing very well.
Mhm.
The issue for both of them has not been pocketing; it's been out of line and then scratching in
Right.
some way, or having to do something that was extremely difficult. But most of it, the result of just getting out of line on a shot.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I don't know. You know, they could be having a little trouble adjusting to the conditions.
To the
or-
dime, the
Mhm.
slow play on the table, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because typically a diamond will play really fast. You know, so if it's with the conditions and such, if it's playing slow, it's a little bit unexpected, you know. So coming up here to clear these balls out around center table, and be interesting to see. I mean, he may just leave the 10 there. Mika getting a little fancy there.
Great shot.
Oh, terrific. The speed on that was perfect.
So here he has break shots.
I think you just
It's,
shoot the 8 ball and then
he's
try and get
gonna
that 3
just
5
leave
out of
it,
there. Yeah,
That's
he's
exactly what he's going to do.
stop for that. He's seeing if he came just a little bit too far, which he may have,
No, I think he's good. here.
given the head shake. Might be a little far. It's hard to see from our
Oh,
angle,
it's,
but
yeah, it's hard to see if he can make it.
Mhm.
From this angle, it looks like he cannot make it, actually.
Right.
So
And he
we'll
has the
know
option
in
to. He could go. He could.
So we know now he cannot make it.
So he's going to shoot this and
doesn't
try and draw
it.
back some to get where he wanted to be, and he
Yeah,
can either
or
hit
play
him with
the
the 7.
I think he's just going to play the 7. He doesn't want to hit the 10, so this is a little bit of a clever shot he has to make here because he probably will want to pass by the 10 without hitting the 10. So
Mm-hmm.
the question is whether he can nip the 5 or 3 with the cue ball in this shot, or whether he's going to have to come back in. So there he
Ooh,
tried.
and he
He
didn't
tried
get
to do
into
that,
him, yeah.
and while it looks like he was trying to play position on 15 ball,
Oh, the 14.
14 ball. That's I don't think what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to hit those
Yeah, I do
the
too.
2 balls at the top of the table.
I think he really wanted to make sure, like we were saying earlier, that he only hit one of them. He wanted to go into that 5 ball there to try and knock that down, and then
So the only thing that
more
changed my
predictable,
mind
so-
is whether if the 5 was dead, and obviously it's not because he had to clip him. So now the question is in my mind, what was he trying to do there?
he just took the opportunity to break him. So he didn't want to sort of get in
Right.
the situation that Darren got in last rack, where he didn't have any, he left with those 2 and didn't have anything to do with them really.
He did hit it with a lot of
Pace.
force, yes.
Yeah, quite a bit of pace there. I wonder what he's planning to do here. I think he came out a little farther than he wanted there. Be interesting to see what he chooses to leave.
So now he has to think whether he can.
I think what he's going to try and do is come up there to where he just pointed his obviously that's why
I
he put his
agree.
tip there. He's going to
He's
come
gonna
up there
play
and
the-
play it in the side.
Yeah.
So he's got to get a really precise angle, speed.
Too
Came a
far.
little, too far. At a
Well, it
diamond.
may not be. I guess we have to. There's a little bit of an illusion on the angle from where we sit. The ball. No, from here it doesn't look makeable, but Mika may well be able to make it if the angle's not as
Right.
acute as we see it from our vantage point.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll know if he bends over and shoots it.
Right, it looks like if he does shoot it, he'll hit right sort of between the 10 and the 8 there.
And in another bold move, he took a whack at it.
Unsuccessfully, though.
He did, unsuccessful.
Yeah. And he actually had to put a lot of high on that so he didn't, scratch off the rack. Making that shot much more difficult. So we come back to the table here, Darren. See what he does. I'm sure he's happy to be back at the table down 34 balls here. And not too terribly difficult of a rack here.
So the strategy considerations are interesting when you have a lead of, say, 30 balls and nobody's yet run 30 balls on this table during this match. And the question that you're confronted with was what Mika was confronted with. Do I take the somewhat low percentage shot and try to continue my run? Or do I not take any chances at all and sit on the little lead that I have?
Mm-hmm.
So that becomes the strategic consideration.
Right.
Now, so far, Mika has not ducked any hard shot. He's played them all. So he's clearly committed to
Right.
taking a shot, and he's not going to go down sort of in a timid way.
No, it's
And,
just,
and actually, Darren has done the same thing. When they had shots, they took them.
seems like the more modern players, they tend to err in that way. If they have it, and they'll just try and continue the run. They want to stay at the table, and they'll take the riskier shot most of the time.
On a 4.5 by 9 table, it is a game that's meant to be played aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
So their shot-making ability is so strong that they're going to be shooting most of the shots that they see.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're really not an underdog to miss many shots. They're just not an underdog to miss too many shots at all, ever.
Okay. So Darren here getting set up. He deals with that little issue he had there, that little cluster. Probably leave the 6 from here, I think, right?
Yeah,
The 9's in the rack.
No, I
think.
would think
A
so.
little bit
Yeah.
too close. He's going to have to take that out now.
So
I float over here. Play the 11
here
inside.
he goes. Yes. So he definitely wants to leave his. So now when we talk about key patterns, my sort of sense is telling me that he's going to leave the 10 and the 12.
We probably play the 12
So-
last, right? Because it's a
Right,
stop
he's
shot
gonna
position
shoot
to the break
7.
shot.
He's
right?
gonna,
Yeah.
I can tell he's going to shoot the 7, the 10, and the 12. And then all he'll have to do on the 12 is just it stick. So he'll
Right.
stick on the 10. He'll shoot the
Right.
12 in the side, and he has the angle for the break shot.
Right.
So that becomes the key pattern for this particular rack.
Stretch here from Mr. Appleton.
And since Darren's shooting agrees with my pattern, it's evident how intelligent a pool player he is.
Of course. If that's the barometer, we might be in
yeah,
trouble.
Exactly, right. That's not to imply that I have anything on earth to teach him about pool.
Of course not. Of course not. It's interesting to see. He's got quite an angle on this break shots. I think.
Yeah, they're not daunted by the,
Mm-mm.
they're both playing essentially the same way on the same table, so they're sort of going at it in a way, it's a slugger's contest.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Interesting to see how hard he hits this, though.
I would say very.
Well, stylistically, it's just he tends not to crush them the same way. Torsten's response to this table is to hit the ball as hard as possible. And so it seems like he's sort of favoring that approach somewhat. And then you see that sort of more modern break shot style, too, drawing that ball to the head rail.
Yeah.
But they're just not getting the separation that you would normally, normally I think.
Well,
that
on
would
certain
kind of explode.
tables, with the speed he hit that ball, the cue ball would have drawn to the back rail and be in the center of the table.
Mm-hmm.
But in this instance, excuse me, that has not been a successful strategy.
Right, they're getting more stuck towards the bottom rail within the first couple diamonds, and it's making it really hard. If the 11 ball didn't float up, that could be really difficult. So, but here, fortunately, he has the 11, so he can kind of either roll down table. He could go straight into him if he wanted, but I don't think he will. So he's just gonna play down here for the bottom of the table, and then he's gonna play the 2 ball. And have a nice shot here. Okay, so Darren clearing out the balls on the lower rail here, and he might just go up into him. Kind of pop him out there, and that worked out very well for
It
him.
did.
His left here, 7 in the side if he wants it. You could take the 1. But,
It's a good opportunity to open these up.
yeah, he doesn't have a great break
I was
ball.
just pocketing this ball.
He doesn't
The
have a
7
great
ball.
as it lies. Right, so but he's got to bump it, right? Because he's going to take the 10 here.
He's going to take the 10. And
Get rid of the 5. Come back down table.
am I muted?
So he still has to make a break ball, though.
Well, the twos, I think he can use the two.
It's a little low, isn't it?
It is. So he'll be bumping into the 3 balls in the center of the rack in order to create a break shot for himself, I believe.
Right, and you may want to come over and shoot either the 14 and bump into the 4 and go over, or the 7, but shoot the 4, bump
Right,
into
he'll
the
want to
7
be
and come
shooting
over.
from that side of the rack.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
So he probably might use the 2 ball right now to get position on that shot, so that he can go ahead and take care of that. He doesn't want to leave it any longer unless he absolutely has to. So beautiful speed there.
Yeah, he did.
And then go and create it. So
It's an
from
excellent
here, so shoot the 4 ball and just knock that 7 over just an inch or 2. Perfect. So that's a really nice break shot. And then he's going to want to take care of the 1 at least sooner rather than later. So he has a nice pocket for the 9. See if he leaves that as the key.
So I would think he's going to use the 1 now to get position.
Looks like he's going to take the 14 now.
Okay. So we'll do it his way. So he shoots the...
Shoots the 14 there. Now he's going to come down and get rid of the
Yeah,
1.
the 1. So he almost has to leave the 9 unless he's going to use the what ball is that there? That's 15.
Mm-hmm.
So he may be thinking about the 15. The 7's a slightly better break shot, but not.
Not appreciably. I mean, it's not so far away.
It's
That's
not,
really going to make a
yes.
huge
So
difference to
the
somebody like
question will
him.
be which one he feels he can get the better position on, and now he just answered the question, didn't he?
Right.
Just shot the 7. So he's going to go for the 1.
Right. And he's looking
1
at
9 and then come across the table. So he'll be looking to backward cut the 9. So he'll hit this. So he's going to play the 9 on his side, and he's going to take the cue ball down to the
right to where he just pointed
to
and try and get a pretty.
Back rail, and then run it down the side of the table that the 15 ball is
He might
on.
just draw it across if he's got enough angle to
He
do
might.
it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there, he's got enough
He's got a
angle.
nice angle to do it. And he's like you said, he's right behind the ball there.
Great shot.
Absolutely. Perfect speed there. So Darren here putting a few balls together, so maybe we'll see a nice long run after all. And the score after that rack, as we can see over there, is 58 to Darren, 64 to Mika. So now only an 8-ball difference separates. So at this level, I mean, the leads don't mean quite as much. When they can just get up and run 30 balls pretty easily.
Right.
Having a 30-ball lead is not that big. Perhaps why they choose to shoot the more aggressive shot, like we were talking a little bit earlier. It looks like Darren's going to take a short break, so we're going to do the same, and we'll be right back with you.
All right, we want to thank our sponsor, Doug Wu, with the Save Money, Be Energy Efficient, and GoGreen.com. That is harness the power of the sun, nature, and technology. Learn about on-site generation and microgrids coupled with customized conservation solutions, the future of energy. Visit www.savemoney, and GoGreen.com. Save money, be energy efficient, and GoGreen.com. Go grab a pen real quick, because this guy made this whole thing happen that you're watching now. Go to www.savemoney, and GoGreen.com. We want to thank Doug Wu for all his support. We're filming a reality TV show as well as doing this live stream at the same time here. It's very stressful. Doug's been great helping all weekend here. And it looks like Darren's back to work. We're going to get our commentators back in. And we'll continue on with the match. I did adjust the settings for the stream too. For those having problems, I kicked it down to 480 by 240. So hopefully, if you're I want everybody to be able to see this. Give it a go. Stream 2. It's up on the top of the InsidePool.tv. I also was told that going actually to the Ustream site instead of going to InsidePool.tv is also going to help. Thanks for all those helping out there on the chat. And we are at the Diamond Billiards presents the American 14-1 Championship. Patron sponsor Simonis Cloth, official cue Lucasi, and live stream by yours truly, Alvin Nelson with Inside Pool. For the Billiard Channel, I'm Roku. We'll get back to the match now. Wild. We're live, baby, live. It's your Wild Boy, your host, your loyal host and servant. World Wild Boy. Traveling adventurer. Okay. How's the stream now? Is it no good or what? It's all messed up now, isn't it? Darren Appleton's running out. He don't care about no stream. Okay, so somebody has a good stream. Okay. Now, like I said, I resized. Is anybody that was having a problem not having a problem now? By any chance? Dougie. Doug Wu, our producer of the show, going to join me in the booth. You been having a fun time, Doug?
Oh, I've been having a great time.
Okay. So hopefully those that were having a problem are not having a problem on stream number 2. I'd like to know if anybody that... Yeah, Darren doesn't care anything about it. Working on my Commodore 64. Okay, good. Okay, good. We have somebody not having problems now, so it apparently that adjusted it.
Commodore 64. I had a VIC-20. All right. It looks like he's going to the 4 to the 3 to the 8, huh? 8's his break ball.
Okay. All right, I'm done trying to make everybody happy. I did everything I can do. Darren Appleton steps to bat. He's going to put this ball, get up for the 3.
Looks pretty good here.
Tell us something about save money, be energy efficient, and gogreen.com. Please.
Well, it's a haphazard, slapped together website, but it's just a start. So what I plan on doing with that is advertising any kind of businesses and information that teaches people how to save money, be energy efficient, or go green.
.com?
.com, yes, .com, of course.
So what's the website again? Come on.
Save money, be energy efficient, and gogreen.com.
With Doug Wu in the booth. All right, so he's going to put in the 8, break the stack open, run out, run the set out. Break and run the next 10 and run out, right?
Well, I think he wants to clip off the top and then the side rail and back to the center of the table. Or no, it looks like he went straight into
he wants
it.
to miss.
And he missed it. Wow.
Unfortunate miss there for Mr. Appleton. It looked like he moved a little bit on the break, didn't it? Did you see him move?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a couple misses earlier, traded back between Mika and Darren. They seem to be a little bit not settled in entirely. I didn't expect Darren to miss that ball.
I'm watching this, the chat, what everybody's saying, and appreciate all the comments. Looks like it's working for most people. All right, I'm not looking at it anymore. Time to get into the game. Mika Immonen, who wants to get into the finals with Torsten Homan, him and Ralph Eckert had just walked in the room just a few minutes ago. Uh-oh. Looking a little straight on this ball. What do you think? He's got options, though.
It looks like he's going to use the 6 to run into the stack. I don't know exactly if
It's all right.
he has a plan for what he's trying to leave himself on, but I think he might try to draw and stay on the left side. Oh, yeah, he left himself a shot on the 7 for sure, as well as the, is that the 13 to the corner?
Yes, it is. Yeah, he wants to pop this 10 out of the way. Fire on the 8 ball. What do you think? Or is he going to
Well,
go?
he's
might
got
as
all
well
the
pick a
balls
couple of
open
these.
to pockets now for the
Yeah,
most
he
part.
sure does. His problem ball looks like the.
Well, he wants to clear the 3 before, obviously,
Sure.
before he shoots the 11 and not leave that for too long. But then there's the 1, 9, what is that, 13? It looks like he's going for the 3 now. He's going to shoot the 3 so he can clear the 10 for those 3 balls that are sort of not clustered, but just close together. In a little triangle right next to the spot. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, I guess he wants to take the 11 now. Well, he fell on an angle to get the 1, looks
Sure.
like, on the side. But he's not.
He must want it as a break ball.
Yeah, it looks so. It looks so.
Because that would have been the right place right there to pick it off and then go to the 10. What do you think?
No, he does want to use that as his break ball.
Mhm.
And he was playing a pattern to stay on the right side of these angles to really just do a lot of stop shots. I've noticed that these players, they are very good at staying on the right side of the ball and just using slight angles and stop shots whenever they can.
Uh-oh. Is he okay here?
Yeah, I think he's going to shoot this
I
to
don't
the
know.
corner.
Yeah, he might.
Just
It's
drift
hard
forward.
to see the angle from this camera.
Ooh, whoa, did he drift too far for it? Almost. No, he's okay.
He's all right. He's okay here?
Yeah,
Yeah, he can go right.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. He looks a little weird here.
He has a slight angle on it. I think he can just draw into the
hard to
top of the
tell.
stack
Let
and
me
then
get
off
up
the
here.
side rail.
Yeah, he's close, isn't he?
I definitely don't like following the ball here because those slight angles, it tends to like run off the side of the rack into the corner.
I mean, he's going to hit it and bust a couple balls out.
Yeah, it's actually he's not gonna.
You think he's going to go ramming into it?
No, he's just gonna. I think he's gonna either
He's just going to
stop
dink
or
it, isn't he? He's just going to kind of
pull
like
it,
pop
draw
a
it
couple
out,
balls
yeah.
out.
Draw it back out.
Okay. Well, he's definitely got some work to do now. But that's okay. He's got a ball to get on, which is the 11 ball. That's grab the rope and start climbing. 5 and the 7 are a problem. 3 and the 15, and it's like the purple stripe there.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of open balls to
Yeah, there's a lot of.
use before he starts needing to clear the other ones open.
That's because the angle he got off the break wasn't quite what he wanted, I don't think. Combo action.
That's what it looks like. So it looks like he might use his 4 to get on the 14 there in the middle so he can run into the stack. He sort of waited towards the end there where he doesn't really seem to have a key ball that he's guaranteed position on, at least that I can see. Maybe he's going to play shape on the 6. He drew back and
Okay.
he left himself.
I like that.
I don't.
Except that
it's
he's
okay.
got a really hard shot, but
No, if the 15 goes, it's
he
straight,
moved
but it looks
the-
like the 8
yeah,
is the only one that goes. He's okay.
he moved some of that popped them apart a little bit more. Looks like that 13 would be a good break ball at the right angle.
Yeah, the 13 looks like it. Probably going to be the one he's going to use.
Wow, great shot. See where he lands. Yeah, that was nice. I like that. Showed a lot of skill in that shot.
Well, he knew the angle he was coming into would run into it, and so he followed with top left, I believe, to get the cue ball to come around to the center of the table. And he's deciding to get rid of these two balls at the other end of the table, so doesn't have to make the cue ball move back and forth a lot.
He can land into a zone where he can land on his break ball just right. A nice stay down. That's good.
So here we have a connect the dots. He's left himself on the 9 to get shape on what looks like the 3 in the side, so he can use the 13 as a break ball, like you said. You know, these guys are really good about like the 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, differences in terms of their cue ball position, because these slight angles really make a difference in straight pull, especially when you're having to
Sure does.
run into things.
Even this here looks a little funny. He's going to hit the bottom of the stack, it looks like.
Well, I don't like that position myself just because I'm short.
Yeah, he keeps getting flat. Maybe I'm wrong. It looks like he's going to hit the corner ball, really, on the stack. We'll see. Thanks for watching the Billiard Channel on Roku and youtube.com/Inside Pool Mag.
Personally, I hit this with top right, so I glances off and goes forward 2 rails up.
Yeah, he hit the bottom
Just
2
like that.
balls. Nice and easy. That looks good.
Yeah, on any break shot in like a regular rotation or 8 ball, you generally want to stop the rock in the center of the table. And I think similarly in straight pull, when you run into the stack, if there's a way you can run into the stack and put the cue ball back in the center of the table, you're going to have the most likely shots available. Well, he got in a little sort of funny position, but if he can shoot the 7, personally, I would shoot the 7 if it goes. I don't like having to bridge over balls. We are playing all ball fouls here. And me being a short guy, I definitely couldn't reach something like the 11 there. The 9 goes to the corner.
It's very important to use the bridge and not stretch.
But even in a shot like that, I don't know. Shooting the 11, I guess the bridge could fit in there, but there's.
Yeah, you just take a longer bridge off the bridge.
He's looking at the 7. I think the 7 is partly blocked by the 8. Sort of be shaking his head. Maybe he's just half a pocket. Yep, he got it in.
No, he needs well, I shouldn't tell him what he needs to do, but definitely think about which one you want to use as your break ball. There's the problem balls down on the bottom, 6-4 and the 2.
Yeah, it's that 4 and 2 that it wants to clear out now.
Nice. Look at that. That was awesome.
So now
That
he
was great.
really only has to get to the 3, 14, and 8.
I love it. I love how he beat that ball away from the 2.
Yeah, it was.
He cues up so
No problem
close
for
to the
him.
cue ball too. That's awesome.
I think that 3 might pass to the bottom right corner. I don't know. Yeah, it looks. Ugh. I don't know. If it doesn't, he might just punch this and tap the cue ball into the 3. No, it looks like the 3 will pass because he's left himself a shot on it. All the balls have a hole to go to now.
Just what order to take them off in? What's the smartest way out? He's going to go 4 or 5. It's 15 ball. Then the 1. No, the 1 doesn't clear. Maybe the 9 ball. I don't know. He's got to get rid of the. He's going to come down to the 15 now, or around to the 15.
I think he's going to go from the 15 to the 8.
Yeah, why not?
And then.
Why not? He's going to have to just hit the ball and then roll over 1 turn, right?
Well, it looks
Flip
like he's.
it and roll over 1 turn.
It looks like
There
he's
he
going
goes.
to be using the 14 as
Two,
the
I like
right
that.
ball.
Okay. I meant to get on the 8.
Right,
I like
right.
how he did that. He rolled it out even a little bit. Nice.
See, cleared,
Okay, yeah,
gave it a
that's his
little more
break ball.
space.
The last ball he hit there was the break ball, the 12. 9 disappears.
And if you notice with these last.
1 goes in the side pocket, right? Left-hand side.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep.
You notice the last few balls after he shot the 5 in the side, pretty much all of his shots were close to a stop shot. You know, they weren't all perfectly straight, and there was this little bit of rolling forwards or backwards. But
There he goes.
I'm telling you, these guys, the way they play their patterns, there's a science to it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know it.
No, I mean, they play pool all day, every day. That's their job, man. Make balls. You're watching the Billiard Channel, InsidePool.tv. I'm your host, World Alvin. I'm here with Doug Wu. This is Mika Immonen versus Darren Appleton. We're live, baby, live. Aren't we? Look at this guy. Nice. Right in the middle. Bank.
Where's he going?
Oh,
Where's he
man,
going?
that's ugly. That's no good. The 5 ball. He's got to
Well,
shoot the 5.
I
Long,
don't
crazy
know.
shot.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
know, man.
Look
I
at him.
don't
He's
know.
looking right at that 5.
I don't know.
His eye. If I put little dots, arrow dots, he's
You know,
fired.
me personally,
He's
I might
fired
even
at
take an
5.
intentional foul and just push it to the end rail.
Uh-huh. He's going.
I don't know.
He's a shooter, man. He's
Well-
a shooter.
Well, first off, does the 7, can he see the 7 or is the 9?
He's only got the 5.
Oh,
That's
you
it.
you can't shoot at that 5.
Watch him.
I mean, maybe there's a wire.
You know what's
carom.
nice about it is that he's going to blow the rack apart all over the
Yeah,
table.
for your opponent. I mean,
Maybe he has a shot.
It's gold.
It's
if you
risky.
Make it. Yeah,
It's
but
gold if you make it, but
yeah,
it's
this is a championship here. I just don't see him doing that.
firing at that ball. No way. But look at him looking
I mean,
at it.
Okay, if he,
Look at
if
him.
he wants to
He's
do that,
eyeballing it.
if he wants to do that, fire clip into the 10, carry him off the 10, carry him off the
Okay.
13 into the corner.
Yeah.
There you go. You want to
Okay.
go crazy? Go crazy.
Okay. Yeah, you don't shoot backwards at this ball unless you're Mika Immonen. I mean, that's the only way. Okay, he's going to play a safety. Shot. Good.
Oh, he saw a
Nice!
wire combo in there.
That was awesome. Yeah, why shoot some crazy shit when you...
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that? I did. That's like the first or second time I've cussed on the stream in like 6 years. Apologize, folks. That was just I love them wired balls like that. It gets me excited.
Yeah. Did not see that.
Look at this guy. Get rid of those. Now he should bust into this pack now, this little mini pack up here on the right hand.
Personally, I'd run into the triangle of those 3 balls because
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
because you're guaranteed a shot on the 4,
Sure.
and if you can clear any of those
Without too much speed.
if you can clear those open and it stays near the reel, you can use those to break open into the stack too, because it lays more natural and you're more likely going to get a shot on the 4. Well, no,
didn't
used
do
another
that.
Plan.
He played the conservative move, but I don't know about that.
Well,
He's got a plan, obviously, that we don't know about.
I think he's going
That's why
to
he's there and
stop
I'm
on
here.
this or draw it, and so you get the 5 to the corner, and then use the 10 to break. Oh, he might have fallen on the wrong line. I think he wanted to see where he's holding his cue. That's the line I think he wanted to be on. So when he goes
Yeah.
forward, you go to the right, so he can shoot the 10 to the bottom corner and break that open.
Okay.
Now he's gonna. I don't know what he's gonna do here. It looks
He's
like
putting some weird reverse
he might
English
have to
on it.
try- Okay, he's just gonna go forward.
He's trying to force it.
See now what happened there?
That's cool, though.
He wanted to be on the other side of the 10, but
Yeah.
because he got to the wrong side of the 5.
Now he's got to go into this. He's got to
He's
go
going
here.
into
He's
these
got to
3.
go into it now. Oh, he missed the ball, just like you said. Mr. Dorsey likes you. He just gave you a big old pat on the back.
Well,
Wow.
I'm not too sure about the rhythm of which he shot the 10. You know, the way I look at it is this: when you're playing straight pull, you're sort of like you have a lot of balls to shoot at, and you really don't want to get out of line when it was critical, and that's what happened there on the 5. And so when he shot the 10, I think he sort of didn't let go of that little small error, because had he got on the right side of the 5, he would have been in a position to use the 10 to break open the cluster by the center of the table. And even though he had a different angle and he could use the 10 to break open the 3, I think he just shot it a little quicker. His mind might have still been on the last little mistake. Because,
Wow.
you know, this pull game is so subtle and psychological.
Here comes Darren. Darren knows he's better not. It's very important that he not miss any more shots.
Yeah.
Mika's playing pretty darn good from what I can see, and that little error.
Yeah, that was I
See
would
that
call
ball
that an
roll weird?
unforced error.
Yeah, unforced error for sure. Darren Appleton.
Well, it looks like the 1 will be the break ball. So if he's going to use the 1, he's going to think, how do I play pattern to get to that last? Being that the 2 is up in the middle of the table up top, I mean, in theory, you could use the 2 as your last ball, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah, I think he's just going to shoot this 8 and 11 and use the 2 as the last ball. Or 11 and 8.
Oh, you know Mika's kicking himself right now.
Yeah, he's not happy with that miss.
Yep, Darren's running his rack out for him.
There's really no reason why he should have missed
I
that
can't
10.
believe he missed that ball.
Yeah, he just took his mind off of it just the tiniest bit. I'm telling you, I think he was a little bit still thinking about being out of line on the 5.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Because
It's hard to let it go at this level.
Because, you know, it was a shot that he was a little bit off line on the 5 to where he had to go forward with the 5 to lead him the shot on the 10 that he missed. Okay, so you see he gets straight on the 2, so he can just use a stop shot to stop the rock right there, and that'll be fine for using the position to break with the 1.
Think he's going to draw a little bit?
I don't know.
Maybe a foot? No, he went forward. Okay, even wanted even more of it. Because he wants to put a ton of power into the break, so he put it forward more.
Well, you know, because the thing is that the more angle you have on the shot, the less power you need to put into the stroke to open the rack. Whereas the straighter you are, you have to stroke it harder.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha. So he rolled forward to get that longer angle, so he doesn't have to hit it as hard.
That's right.
Okay. Because then all the balls go to the rails.
Yeah, just remember,
remember,
anytime you increase the power on your stroke, on the object ball is more difficult to make. They say the pocket becomes smaller.
Yes.
The pocket doesn't get smaller. It's just that
Yeah.
the slight nuance of using any kind of side spin or English
has an effect.
Has an effect with the squirt and the throw and all those things that get exaggerated with power. And so the more power you put into the stroke,
you have to re-aim. You have to readjust your shot.
Right.
You have to hit either high or low to the bottom point or the top point is where you would aim your difference with speed.
Now, well, these guys, the way these guys play so good, when they run into the stack, they might spin the ball. Like he might spin the ball with high inside here, you know, just so when he runs into the stack, he comes 2 rails off the rack and back to the center of the table. So he isn't necessarily concerned about punching it so much, but he just wants, you know, maybe to twirl the ball. And I'm just guessing. I just talk on a mic every now and then. I don't really play straight pool much.
Yeah, well, I watched you play rotation pool over there. You know how to make. You obviously have put a lot of work into your pool game, so.
Well, thank you.
Mhm.
I don't even play much anymore.
I don't either. I hit a few balls last night here just to try out the tables and see what I thought about how the rails are, and I don't know. Some people were complaining. I didn't see a problem.
Oh no, I think the tables here are great. I didn't play on every single one of them, but I played
tried
on a
this
few of the
table
gold
out.
crowns.
I tried this table out, and the rails are definitely a little different than normal diamond tables, but you just got to put a little more oomph into it.
Well, I love diamond tables, and it's a real treat to play on the 9-foot diamond tables. There's not too many diamond tables around the San Francisco Bay Area where I live. There are some in the city. There's some in Livermore, but there's very few 9-foots.
Yeah, that's a long way to ship those tables. I think probably from Jeffersonville, Indiana. You know, it's probably a pretty substantial shipping fee that may deter pool room owners from going with diamond, and maybe Brunswick can get them there cheaper or something. Who
Yeah.
knows? There's got to be a reason why there's less diamonds, and I'm guessing just distance from the factory.
Oh well, you know what? I think they're newer. I think they're a little they're a little more
Newer?
expensive. Well, I mean Brunswicks have been around for a long time.
Yeah, 100.
You know,
50
gold
years.
crowns. How many different models have
Sure.
been around, and in variations, whatnot.
see.
Whereas, it's been the last. I don't know. When did diamond come out? Last decade, a little longer than a decade.
Yeah.
So the diamond table. Don't get me wrong. It's really popular with the players. But I think it's
Just
more
not a
and
lot
more.
over in Cali for some
Well,
reason.
more and more, I think the cost of doing business, these 9-foot tables, unless you have
Sure. A demand.
a demand, right?
Right.
All right, so
Less pool rooms are going with the player model and going with the ball banger model. Like what's, 6-inch pockets, and because people want to come in there and make balls, they don't want to come in there and play on, pockets as big as the ball.
I think it depends on the place, but yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. The economics behind catering to the high-end, exclusive niche
Pool players that don't
versus
spend
a
any
large,
money.
larger public
That does spend money.
right.
Well, let's think about that.
There's arguments for either case.
Like the room Premium Billiards I was just in, that's a player's room. I mean, it's made for tournaments, and there's not a lot of kids playing in there, really, at night, because they're tough tables. You want to go show off in front of your girlfriend, you want to go play on 6-inch pockets where you're running out like Darren here. All right, back to the match. Let's see what he can do.
I think he has an angle to punch forward and cheat the pocket to get on the 7 or I don't know. He doesn't have to get on the 7 from here, but see where he's putting his cue. He's thinking, if I get here, do I shoot the 2?
Yeah, whoever.
Got some. Okay.
Welcome, our tournament director, the lovely and talented Megan Fort.
Hello, everybody. Is everybody enjoying this straight pool match?
They're loving it. They're loving it. I'm loving it. You're loving it. How's the tournament been for you, Megan? This is the
Amazing.
second to the last match here.
Amazing.
We have 2 more matches, right?
One.
Just the
Finals.
last. Okay.
Finals.
Holman,
at,
Torsty.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Hi.
in about an hour.
Yes, ma'am.
We just don't know who his opponent is.
So what's your experience? This is your first tournament to run as a tournament director, correct?
No.
No.
I've been with the American 14-1 and the tournament director for 5 years now.
You were the tournament director, and I didn't know it.
It's okay.
Nice.
It's okay.
You
my
see
very
my
fir-
world is chaos.
Yeah, my very first year at Big Daddy's, I escorted my
I was there.
former boyfriend, Sean Wilkie, to the event, and their computer technician didn't show up to do the ball
Okay.
differentials. And because Peter is an amazing promoter, organizer, but the behind the scenes things that are attached to straight pool.
Yes.
And I had the knowledge to assist him only because of the wonderful Miss Cindy Lee and Charlie Williams with the World 14-1. And the way I got started with that is came with Sean to the World 14-1, and Charlie was like, "Well, you're not a wife, you're a girlfriend. You got to pay to get in." I'm not paying to watch him play pool. Well, what can you do? And I said, well, I have excellent penmanship. I'm a teacher. I have a BA, high school history teacher. And I said, I can do charts. I can sit at the door and collect money from other people. And it started with that. And then as the years have gone on, being at the door and the different places we go, because of the pool world and straight pool, and being out of rooms across America, you have to know who the regulars are and things like that. And then the wonderful Manny up at Steinway, I got to know his regulars and worked his door. I actually will be attending the Steinway Classic and working for them November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They have a 7,000 added, 10,000 for first. It's going to be an amazing event. His field is everybody almost that we had. So it's worked out very well for the Europeans, obviously, coming over. They can come here, play the American 14-1, the U.S. Open, and then the Steinway Classic. And I just think the pool world needs to start doing things like that and attaching. And that's how I got started. And then helping Peter. And this year I was named the event manager for the World 14-1 and the tournament director for the American 14-1 for the officially for the last 3 years.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, because I didn't do last year, but I did the year before that.
You were at Karam Cafe?
No.
Is that where we were at together?
Or maybe I haven't done this in Maryland 14-1 in 2 years. I remember doing it 3 times.
Well, you
at least.
did it when we were at Big Daddy Billiards.
And I did it at.
Did you do it at Top Hat?
Yes.
When we were at Top Hat, and that's when we were in Maryland 14-1.
We did 2 years at Top Hat,
yeah.
right?
No, one year.
1 year there. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when we had to look for a new pool room and we came all the way down here to Virginia, we had to rename it. Can't call it the Maryland 14-1 and be in Virginia.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's
the,
good.
And the Dorseys they're
Yeah,
amazing.
this is a great
Can't even
room.
say it enough about them.
Sure.
They just want what's best for pool. They want their spectators in here. And
That was a really nice plug you gave me too.
You're welcome.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That was totally unnecessary. I just sat down for as soon as I sat down, I seen you walk out there and say something because I was doing some settings to try to fix the stream for people. You said that was really nice of you. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
This is so much easier to be back here and talking freely.
Mm-hmm.
Been out there on that microphone, and the
Stressful.
Yeah. So I said, as soon as there's a break, I would like to go on
Well, that was nice. You didn't have to
and
do
thank
that
the
at all.
stream. I mean,
have
Inside
to
Pool
do that.
Magazine, Alvin,
You're welcome.
Billiard Channel,
That was
Roku
nice of
TV.
you.
That's where I got my original start.
Yeah, that's right.
Inside Pool Girl, doing interviews with the
Absolutely.
pros.
Yeah, that's all on our YouTube
That's
channel.
where I originated from. U.S. Open in 2009?
I can't even
2009, I came on the scene.
But
And now I'm the bubbly blonde with curly hair. That's what everybody knows me as.
yeah, absolutely. We have our own YouTube channel, youtube.com/Inside Pool Mag. I saw somebody on the chat asking if these videos will be there. Yes, they will. And they will also be on the Roku device in the sports section. The Billiard Channel, 24-hour billiard network. Some of you probably have Roku sitting right there, right in front of you, and you didn't even know there was a billiard channel. Well, there it is. You're going to see exclusive content on there. So get your Roku device. You can find them used, new, very inexpensive. And it's lots of content that'll just be on there, like the Whirlpool TV show, which we've been filming all week. for the last 3 weeks, actually. You'll see that on there as well. So there's the plug. Darren Appleton, slowly, while we're digressing on things, he's running out. I knew he was going to be in the top 3 at least.
Absolutely. He is our
He's-
defending champion.
Like this guy.
Last year, our finals was Mr. Darren Appleton and Miss Karen Core.
Really? Wow.
And,
I wasn't
and,
here.
And to do a side note on that, some of the cool things that Peter does, because the American 14-1 is the only tournament that pays over 50% of their field. We had a field of 40, and we paid 25 players. Not only do we pay the top 24 that make it out of the round robin, the 16 players that do not make it out of the round robin, Peter does a random draw with all their names in there, and Miss Karen Core won. And the ladies' entry fee for this event is $225. The entry fee for the men are $300. And Peter left it at $300, even though she was the one with the random draw. So Miss Karen Core actually got $75. And then we just got some wonderful news that she beat Koping Yi at the U.S. Open. So
Nice.
Karen is amazing.
Yeah,
very,
I
very
mean-
awesome person on and off the table.
Oh,
Ooh,
my
wow.
Goodness gracious.
Ooh. That was one of those shots where, you know, every
Damn.
shot, you know, you're supposed, the attention it deserves, and I think he concentrated more on the leave and where he exactly wanted that ball, because break shot's coming up, and took his eye on it maybe
Yeah,
the last
that's
second.
it.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know me, my name is Megan Ford. I am the tournament director for the American
Absolutely.
14-1, and formerly inside pool girl with my favorite cameraman, Alvin.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I am from Burlington, New Jersey.
Mhm.
Yes, guys, exit 5 off the turnpike. About 25 minutes from Philly.
That's the weird exit, isn't it? The one with the bridge and all that weirdness.
Burlington Bristol Bridge is
Okay,
there.
yeah.
And everybody always asks me, do you play? Do you play? I'm an amateur pool player, and I play for the APA of South Jersey. And our league operator is Mr. David Piotrowski, and his wife, Michelle.
Great guy.
And his daughter, Sarah, has actually been underneath the weather. So, Sarah, if you're listening and watching with Daddy, I hope you feel better.
He conducted himself very professionally for me. I critique people, and I had a very good experience with him. He was very professional. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He was under a tremendous amount of stress, and he didn't give me any problems at the end of the tournament. And like some people try to.
Yes.
And I'll work for him again.
Yes, he is amazing. Actually, Alvin has been asked to come back on board. Our LTC, our local team championship. Oh my God, Mika missed
goodness.
the break shot. What is going on?
Doink. All right,
Ugh.
Darren, enjoy this one. But go right ahead.
Our LTC, our local team championship, is held formally at Bally in Atlantic City, and we are moving to Harris this year in Atlantic City. Nobody does it bigger or better than David Piotrowski. It's amazing.
Definitely.
You've been there. You've live streamed from there.
He did an amazing job, and that's.
We're so excited about this new venue this year.
I'll be excited. I had a really fun time at that tournament last year.
And not only is his
Or 2 years
LTC
ago.
at a casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, his
Oh, man.
tri-cups, his triannuals, some people call them tri-cups, are at Hotel ML in Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Okay.
It's at a hotel where he brings in, we get the best of the best. He brings in the diamond tables,
Nice.
diamond bar box tables for every event.
Give them a little plug. I
Yeah.
love Diamond Billiard. DiamondBilliards.com. You see these fine
It's
table here.
one of Darren's sponsors.
Absolutely.
So he brings
Great
in the
people.
time. So we have the best equipment, and your straight pool players will tell you though that they do prefer to play straight pool
Oh,
in
absolutely.
Brunswick. I have there are
Because
at Diamond Billiards. There's 3 diamonds here, and the rest of his tables are Brunswicks.
That's just
So
because
they-
they don't. That's just because the pockets are bigger on a Brunswick.
That's what I always tell them. So it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. Of course
But-
they don't want to
but
play on
you
a
know that-
diamond. It's harder.
You know how the players are.
Yeah.
One of them will
Okay.
complain about this table over here,
Oh,
that table,
man.
and I am the most fair that I can be.
Yeah.
If you've been on a diamond twice, then you'll be on a Brunswick, and if you've been on the live stream already, then your opponent,
Oh, yeah.
can't be.
This
So
and that.
It's very, very fair.
Okay. So.
And so in Summerdale, New Jersey, is my pool room We have Fat Albert's in
Oh, I love that room.
Summerdale,
I love that
and
room.
they just opened up a new pool room in Delran, and that's where I hold my
Okay.
Friday night 9-ball Gregory Black 9-ball tournament there.
Okay.
And they just got their liquor license, so people got to go hang out. I was actually just talking to Tommy Dorsey, Sr.
Yes.
And he asked me if I possibly might be thinking about in the future doing a challenge match up there in New Jersey
Yeah. Get us with you.
with the open players, not
Definitely.
the pros. So my
How
area,
about Pepsi? Thanks.
start contacting me, vying for your spot. He's talking. His players are going to be David Hunt and Larry Kressel. So I gotta check into my. I gotta talk to Mr. Piotrowski and talk about some of my top guns out of there. I asked him if I could go a little bit outside of New Jersey, maybe Eddie Abraham.
I like Eddie A. His game's awesome.
Yes.
I really enjoy watching him play pool. He's a great player. And a really nice individual, too.
So our sponsors throughout the years have
Yes.
the behind the scenes have been Mr. Joe Young, mighty Joe Young Q's. He's
Okay.
one of the owners with Fat Alberts, and Mr. Altonelli is his partner. But I cannot say enough about Joe. He's amazing. He is also our cue repair guy at all our tri-cups and our LTCs. And he makes his own cues. The cue he made in
Thank you.
memory of Greg was gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Very good.
And Diamond actually provided a raffle for a pool table. They give away a Diamond bar box at our LTC in Gregory's name to
Oh,
put
I'm sure.
money into our Gregory
That's really
Black
nice.
Memorial Relief Fund. And the Gregory Black Memorial Tournament is held by Mr. Nick Comstock and David Piotrowski, and it's held at Fat Albert's with Al and Joe.
Wunderbar. Okay. Yeah, I just want to thank you for doing a great job, Megan, getting me in here. And, of course, the Dorseys did always a wonderful job. And our sponsors, Simonis, Lucasi, run the billiard channel. Don't forget Muellers.com, big-time supporter of Inside Pool, the billiard channel. Muellers.com.
Oh, some of the other incentives
Yes,
Peter
please.
does. Peter gives away $100 for the high run from a guy that did not advance to day 2. And Mr. Radislaw Babica. He got it
Babica,
for,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You may know. You're the tournament
he
director.
got a 80-ball run, so he received that. And then we do the high run for Thursday and Friday, and Mr. Nick Vandenberg and Niels. 100 and out.
Niels. The Terminator.
And right now, actually, Mika is in the lead for Saturday and Sunday
Okay.
with an 83. So I don't know if... Was there any high runs in Torsten and Warren's match?
I'm not sure. I was
Okay.
running around doing set stuff.
Have to look into that.
Yeah, let's look into that.
Coming up at the end of this match, we're going to raffle off our beautiful Lacassi Q, official Q sponsor.
That's funny,
And
Pool
I'm sure-
Junkie 420. I saw that comment you just said. That's hilarious. All right, Darren Appleton working his way through this rack. He's at 107 on the scoreboard.
I already
He missed
already
the high
talked about
number.
the next event.
Yeah, what's this? What
The
was
high run number
again?
right now
Can
it's
you-
83
Okay.
by Mika yesterday.
Meeker.
Yeah. Raf, I already said that I will be at Steinway
Yep.
November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for the Steinway Classic,
Yep.
4th annual.
Darren Appleton up to bat. Doink. So very good, Megan. Is there anything else that you would like
I think
to
that's about it.
get across to all the folks here on the live stream?
That there isn't a better live stream in the business.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's where my roots are, inside pool and Alvin.
I refuse to do less than 100%
Absolutely.
every day.
Yep, the quality, HD, streaming to you in HD.
I will stay up 40 hours straight to get this done. But come on,
Looks great.
Darren. He's going to use the 9 as his break ball. On and on.
All right, Daz. Let's see you pocket that and come. Beautiful, beautiful.
$121 to 113. We're racing to 150 here in the semifinals. Darren Appleton versus Mika Immonen. I'm Alvin with Inside Pool, here with Megan Ford, the tournament director, and Inside Pool girl extraordinaire, part-time. And
I definitely do miss my interviews.
we're live, baby,
They're always
live.
so much fun.
Well, thank
You can
you.
look them all up.
They're all on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Inside Pool Mag. Thanks for watching the billiard channel, everybody. Here he goes. Oh, came off the rack, little feather action. He's going to get the 6 ball, drop down for the stripe ball, and he's going to go into stack off the bottom stripe. 10 ball.
Jason Klatt just messaged me. He would like to know Darren's score. The boys had to leave Mr. Darren last night because they're all due at the U.S. Open.
I love how that worked out, how this tournament's right before the U.S. Open, so the players all come in a couple days early.
Absolutely.
Get
An hour and a
acclimated.
half. Only an hour and a half from the U.S. Open.
Hour and a half away. They get acclimated. Some of the overseas players, they'll have a couple extra days. Instead of coming in right before the U.S. Open, they get to come in 4 or 5 days before the U.S. Open, get acclimated to the time change somewhat.
And I've been in constant contact with the tournament director, Jay, you know, helping these players out. Also, let's talk about Mr. Evo Arts.
Okay.
Incredible. From the Netherlands, 22 years old.
Yeah, it looks like a good, solid
Yeah.
player.
Awesome. Just became friends with his dad on Facebook.
Nice.
These young kids.
Yeah.
These young,
Nathan
coming
Childress
over, yeah.
played in the
yes.
tournament.
Junior champion here out of Diamond Billiards, going to China.
He's trying to go to
Represent the
China.
U.S. No, not trying. He will be there. He's
Okay, he'll be
representing
there.
the U.S.
Very good.
And he's doing a GoFundMe account. Anybody wants to help support him?
Okay. Nathan Childress GoFundMe account. I think it's like send Nathan to China or something. You'll have to look it up. I wish he was here. I'd get maybe somebody out on the chat knows.
Yeah, I think he's out in the room practicing right now with Thomas Dorsey. No, not 11, 9. Only 9. Chat people.
There's only 9 tables at the Open. What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
What did they usually have, like 12?
Not sure.
They had tons of tables, didn't they? All right, let's avoid that conversation. Is it at the conference center?
I have no idea. Haven't been to the U.S. Open since I wasn't
I
needed anymore.
haven't gone.
I don't sell magazines there anymore.
Yeah, I haven't gone there. I'm not going either. I'm going home.
Guess I'm sitting here giving all these shout outs to people and for I currently date Mr. Jim Gazafi Jr. and he is in South Carolina working. He tunes into the stream and watches me announce each match. So cute.
Very good.
Love you, babe. And Miss Angie's working hard at the salon her and Darren just purchased, and she didn't get to hear
Nice.
me announce that he is formerly from England and now resides in Pennsylvania with his beautiful wife, Angie.
There she is. I see her out there.
Yeah,
Double A.
The field is limited to 129 now. She is absolutely correct. I really missed her this year.
Yeah, she's always fun.
She's awesome.
She's watching old Darren get the money. Get the money,
Oh,
Daz.
Angie, since you are watching and listening, what do you think about the Appletons? Darren's parents are awesome. Their little trip to the United States next year, maybe we could do this event.
That would be sweet. I'd
And
like
then
to meet
and then they can go
Tony.
to all 3 events.
I'm friends with his dad on
Yeah.
Facebook. We talk often. And
Got to hang out with them at the
good
Worlds.
family, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, I saw it's GoFundMe.com/Get Nathan to China.
Yes, thank you very much.
you wanna
Yeah,
do
this
that.
is the second year that Nathan's played with us in this event. He's just awesome. His family, his mom. Not many people know this, and it's not public knowledge, but Mr. Nathan Childress has been in our tournament from day one in our 40-player field. And we got a call last minute from Mr. Alex Pagliine, and anybody that knows me knows that is my favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
And little Nathan gave up his spot for Alex.
Nice.
Gave it up, and then became the first alternate.
Oh,
And
nice.
then Mr.
Perfect.
Bobby Chamberlain had to back out. A great player also.
Yeah, I
we
was
love
hoping
Bobby.
he would be here.
Amazing guy, good friend of mine.
Captain Bob.
And he got back in. But I just want people to know just how mature and seasoned he is already. And again, hats off to him for being our junior champion and representing the
Absolutely.
United States in China.
Angie just said that Darren will be eligible for the BCA Hall of Fame in February.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Good. Glad to see you're out there on the stream, watching Darren get it done here. Let's see. He's got to be getting close. 135.
Yep.
So he needs 15.
Yeah, so he won't even need to leave the break ball.
No, he's got it. Or do they? Yeah, he doesn't even need to. He
Mhm.
can just finish it out.
Yep.
Perfect.
Well, now we had actually a controversy the first round with I believe it actually was a stream match. I won't even talk about who it was. 'Cause if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
But when you don't have to leave the break shot, you still have to rack. You still have to rack.
Hold on. I got to put everybody on mute. I got to hear who this is. Okay, I'm glad you didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Everybody knows who it is. That's right.
So even though Darren needs 15, not 14, 15, 16, he needs 15. He won't leave a break shot on the table where he has to pocket the ball and break into the rack. It's called break shot. Well, what he'll do is leave himself straight in, but the person, his opponent, still needs to come rack the balls before he takes that last shot. So let's clarify that for our straight pool watchers out there. They know that, though.
Yeah, he's a great guy. One of my favorite players.
We're talking about Darren or Mika, correct? Not who I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I was just being sarcastic. Darren and Mika are both a couple of my favorite players and people.
You know what I love about the game of straight pool?
What's that?
It's the most legit discipline there is.
Yeah, they got to come with it.
They can't pattern rack.
Yep.
They can't rack mechanic.
Yep.
Straight pool.
Mhm.
I love this.
They got to come with it.
I love this discipline. The professionalism that comes along with it, the dress code.
I can see that he has a little bit of work to do here, but if he can get them balls out of there a little bit, he should be able to just finish running this out. He doesn't even need a break ball, so he can really go into this.
He's probably gonna shoot it like Efren does. If you ever watch Efren play some straight pool, he does like 3 break shots throughout a rack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing.
One of our chat people, I guess, remember that stream match. They knew who we were talking about.
Yeah, don't even. Nothing new to you here.
Oh, definitely nothing new. Well, Darren gets this done. Looking like a repeat. A repeat of the World 14-1 Championship finals.
Every year, Darren's in the finals of everything. There he is again. There he is again. I told him when he walked in the door he was going to win the thing. He's like, no, second or third, maybe. I said, nope. But he's got, if he can get out here, he's got quite an opponent in Torsten Homan.
Final match is coming up at 2 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. I'm sorry. I apologize. I misspoke.
No problem.
5 o'clock. Obviously, unless, the match gets done at 4:55.
Sure.
We need to give him a little bit of a break, but 5 o'clock finals.
And Darren, if he wins here, he'll be coming out of a match, and that's always gives you an advantage. Fresh off the table.
And the only fair way to do that when we went down to our final four
Gotta
is
let him cool down a little
Darren was came out our second seed
Mm-hmm.
out of the round robin, and Mika our third seed. Torsten was our fourth seed, and Warren was our 17th seed. If Mr. Sean Wilkie would have beat Warren in his round robin match, their score would have been 2-2, and then it would have gone to head, and Sean would have got in instead of Warren. I love the scoring system, the record, head-to-head, and then ball differential, because it really does give that last match importance, and every ball counts. Every ball matters. And we had our first here. Mr. Mike Davis and Mr. Sean Morgan were tied. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
And so their records were the same. We couldn't go to head-to-head because they were from two different flights, and they both had a ball differential of a -80. So we did the tiebreaker as balls made, and Mike Davis made more balls than Sean Morgan, so Mike was 23 and Sean was 24.
Okay.
And just a little bit of history real quick before. Oh, wow, Mika's not even letting him finish it. Or was that it? I thought he needed all the balls.
I thought he did too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I'm Alvin with Inside
Yeah.
Pool here with Megan Ford.
I just want to give a little history to our viewers real quick.
Go right
This
ahead.
is the 11th year, and we started in 2005, Mr. Peter Burrows, and the finals was McCretion Hunt, David Hunt here out of Diamond Billiards.
Yep, the dentist.
Yep, and then we had 2006, Ed Hooden and Danny Baruti. Mika Immonen and Mike Davis were 2007. Bob Madoff, Danny Baruti, 2008. Our finals in 2009 was Mr. Danny Harriman and Dave Daya. Our finals in 2010, Mr. Danny Harriman and Sean Wilkie. Our finals in 2011, Johnny Archer, John Schmidt. Finals in 2012, John Schmidt, Torsten Homan. In 2013, Torsten and Johnny Archer. And 2014, Karen Core and Darren Appleton. And now 2015, Mr. Torsten Homan and Mr. Darren Appleton.
Good job.
And
Good job.
Inside Pool and Alvin will be back at 5 o'clock.
That's right. Thanks a lot, folks, for watching the Billiard Channel.